This is Sound City. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? It's a city, it's a city.
Hello, citizens. It's another day, another episode. It appears that all the phlegm, Brandon, from my nose went straight from my nose to now to my chest. So now when I cough, I could feel all the phlegm coming back up.
Whooping cough.
Dude, it's horrible. I really just want it to go away. I don't know what to do. I've already drank orange juice. I've done everything. It's just
cough it all out.
That's what I'm trying.
Not on the show. I mean, you're gonna get all the equipment.
No, I don't want to get the listeners sick either. That's weird. But you know, happy day. The Orlando City won, which is good, and we can extend our streak now to hopefully I think it's 5 games unbeaten at home. Which would be great. Correct. That would be great. But it was I just feel bad for Colorado because I feel you kind of could have put anybody against Orlando City and we were gonna be determined to win, because the last game against Montreal, where we lost 2-0, or 2 games ago I should say, was uneventful, and I feel Orlando City kind of just wasn't there. They were tired. They had played against Charleston Battery, and it was just not a good week for us playing in Montreal. So I feel you could have put us against anybody, honestly,
and we were gonna end up on top.
We were gonna end up on top. And what sucks is Brek Shea's groin injury continues to bother him, and he got subbed out. I think it was like the 16th minute or something like that.
Who subbed in his place?
Carlos Rivas.
Okay.
Which is it's a good thing. I like the way Carlos Rivas plays, and he was the reason for the first goal. He put a beautiful center in the box where Kyle Larin just put it in the back of the net to give us that 1-0 lead.
Kyle Larin.
I wanted to talk about him real quick. That, you know, the rookie is really making an impact.
So Rivas had the assist on
had the assist on the first goal, and it was a beautiful cross. I really didn't think that ball was going to get through because the defender was on him. It was one of those, they were running at the same pace, and he just happened to stick his leg out and get it across. But I'm glad Carlos Rivas got to do that, because he's been getting a lot of slack lately that he just can't finish and he's not really being productive. And I think he's very productive. I just think I agree with the fact that he doesn't finish and he doesn't take the right shots, but I love the way he played. He played really well, and that ball in, Kyle Larin beautifully placed his foot and just put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, I'm actually watching the highlights right now.
You're watching it?
Yeah, because I don't watch the game. So I'm trying to see what you're talking about.
That goal was awesome, and I mean, props to the Colorado Rapids. They came out.
That's pretty well. I could see Shea started up at the top.
At the top, yeah. Because I like Luke Bowden. Luke Bowden, he earned that left back position because Brek Shea was injured.
But I'd rather have.
Oh, I'd much rather have.
I'd rather not have Brek Shea in the back.
In the back, yes, I wouldn't.
He's definitely. I guess he commands more attention up at the wing.
And no, that's his.
Anyways.
Yeah, that's his natural position. So I was gonna say
he was at the beginning of the season. He was running back and forth from the back to the wing. And I mean,
I just feel it might not be his natural position to be left wing. Maybe left back is his natural position, just like because he has more space.
Oh wow, there was a nice stop by Tally Hall.
I was gonna say in the 5th minute. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say props to Colorado because they had a stupid pass back. I don't remember who it was. It might have been Rafael Ramos who passes it back and leaves it wide open for the Colorado Rapid player to take it in virtually by himself, and then Tally Hall with a huge save, and. Which is great because Tally Hall showed up big twice, actually. He saved us on 2 occasions. So, who knows if Ricketts could have made that save? You never know.
I mean, the guy made the save, and that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
There's no more what ifs. Tally Hall seems to have a hold on that keeper position. I do like him better. Ricketts, I feel... I don't know if he was getting lazy or
maybe too comfortable.
Maybe too comfortable it could be. Maybe he's just, at that phase where he's just like it's almost second nature where some things just kind of happen. He doesn't know how to react to it.
Right. Okay.
But I like Tally Hall in that position.
Yeah, I like Tally Hall.
How old is Tally Hall? Do you know?
He's like in his 30s. I think he's like 31 maybe.
Okay, so he's not that much younger than Ricketts, is he?
I think Ricketts is what, 35?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he's like 35, maybe 36.
I can.
Yeah, check that real quick.
But so Tally Hall's younger than Ricketts.
Than Ricketts.
I don't know. I like him back there.
Yeah,
I don't know about you, but
I definitely like Tally Hall back there. The goals that he's gotten scored on is kind of not his fault. The ball is just gonna find its way across the line no matter what, even if he was there or not. So I think Tally Hall came up big, because if they were to go up 1-0 in the 5th minute, man, who knows what could have happened. They probably would have just played way more defensively, and then we would have just been attacking the whole game, and who knows if we could have gotten a break.
Donovan Ricketts is 38.
38.
And Tally Hall is actually 30.
30. He turned 30 this year. Okay. And
I looking through the highlights again, Kaká almost scored in the 44th.
yeah, off the post.
But he missed. I think the goalie stopped it.
The goalie stopped it?
The goalie
Okay.
stopped it, yeah.
No, in the second half, he had the one where he hit off the post.
Yeah, I stopped it there because I wanted to talk about it, and then I'm continuing on the highlights. But, I mean, we got the win. That's what matters. The 3 points. We're one behind New England, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
With
how many? 24, right?
24.
We're at 23. Yeah. And, of course, DC's kind of just running away with it. But you were telling me that they have 2 more games on.
They played 2 extra games.
Is it on everyone or just Orlando City? So far, is it because you just saw Orlando City?
Let's see. They pretty much have. Oh, well, everybody's kind of at different rates. They do have the most
games played
in the East.
Okay.
Second being Philly and the Revolution with 18, and then us. But Montreal has only played 13 games.
Yeah, I noticed that Montreal has a low games played. I don't know why.
So could that come back? I mean, they have to play.
Because they were part of the cup, weren't they? They were part of
the Canadian Cup.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, it was a cup that they were part of.
CFL. No, that's football.
That's football. Yeah, that's football.
But they have. Their own Canadian Cup, but still, that's Toronto's. Well, I guess the Canadian teams are the one that's behind by a few games. Mm-hmm. But they have to make those games up eventually, don't they?
100%. Yeah, they play them. No matter what.
So we're looking at this, and really it doesn't matter, because if everybody was at the same pace or like one game behind,
then it's easier to gauge.
But when you have a team that's at the bottom of the standings, with Montreal has only played 13 games and they have 17 points. I mean, add 6 games to that. If they win half of those, they're up at the top 3, top 4.
Mm-hmm.
So
Orlando is playing. I mean, Orlando City's playing very well, and I feel the first half was kind of a little bit of a.
It was rocky. It was rocky.
It was a disappointment. The first half was a little disappointing, to go in 0-0. But thank goodness in the second half, I don't know what coach he told them, what he got them inspired or something, because that second half they came out swinging, and it was early where we got our chance. I think it was the 53rd minute where Kaká hit the post. And I want you to just keep watching the highlights. But
I just saw, I came back to the tab. I forgot to pause it. And I just saw Laren kind of like kick it the opposite, like he just ricocheted off his foot.
Oh, you saw the first goal.
61st minute, yeah.
Okay, so the 61st minute was the first goal.
Laren's goal.
Mm-hmm. And I want you to see that cross, because that cross was beautiful. I love that.
Yeah, no,
cross.
I just saw the cross. Yeah. It was gorgeous.
And
right there again.
It couldn't have been more perfect. And then
it had a little curve to it too.
And
that was from Rivas.
That was Rivas, yeah. And then Laren just put his foot through it, and he got us that 1-0 lead.
The second goal.
Dude, the second goal, what I loved about it is that Kaká finally took a shot. And that's what I think Kaká needs to do, which is what I saw him do more in the second half, is just let it rip, man. You're Kaká. We want you. You were telling me Giovinco is leading in shots on target and shots in general, isn't he? And I think that's what you need from your international player, from your highest paid player, like Giovinco.
Kaká scored the second goal.
Yeah, Kaká scored the second goal. And
3 minutes after the first goal.
And that's what I love that Kaká shot it, and he put it in that, I guess it would be back right corner of the goalie.
Yeah, he went 4 posts. I just like that he took it himself.
He
was basically like, you know what, I'm just gonna take it. I'm not looking for anybody else. You could see the moment he got the ball, he
already determined he was gonna score, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. That's exactly my point. When you pay a player like that, you pay him for those superstar moments.
He shot again. Did he? Was that him? I couldn't tell. Let's see. Had to pass back to the left.
Well, like I said, he was just shooting more. It was good. And that Kyle Laren in the front, we were talking about it. For a rookie, he's got 6 goals. And he's only 2 behind being top 3 in goals, tied with Kaká, Giovinco, and who was the third that you told me? It was Kaká, Giovinco, and
we just looked it up. I don't understand how we don't remember this, but let's see.
Yeah, you could tell me the third one.
Yeah.
Can't remember who the third one is.
So at the top was Kamara with 12.
12.
Wondolowski. How could we forget Wondolowski?
Yeah, there we go.
But yeah, two
The
goals behind
Centennial
them.
Man, Wondolowski.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, and then who do we have playing next?
We're going up against Columbus.
Columbus Crew.
Which is
it's
you could
like the fourth time we played them.
Yeah, this is our third time right now.
Third time.
Which is I'm excited because I want to hopefully see an 11-on-11 game because so far we've only seen 2 10-on-10 games.
Oh, because of red cards.
Yeah, red cards. So, or why did I say 10-on-10? 2 games where
where
one
person.
yeah, exactly.
I understood you.
Yeah. So I really hope to see an 11-on-11 game. And it's funny because earlier you asked me if this could be our potential rival, and I was like, I think New York City's our rival, and I think I was just looking at it as like the expansion teams.
True, they could be, but we could have multiple rivals because I feel like every time we play them, it's a heated game. Especially with the 2 red cards we got in the first 2 previous games. We have heated matchups.
It's heated, exactly. It's heated.
That's all you want from rivals. Good matchups. There's something that always happens with those teams. That's how you create rivalries. We've only played New York City once. They're at the middle. Well, they're at the bottom of the standings.
They're at the bottom right now. Yeah.
Do we really want to associate, or at least right now, as our rivals? I feel like Columbus Crew. They're closer to us. We're 3 games. They're 3 points ahead of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is more like this is a big game against Columbus. I know we say that I feel for every game, but this game against Columbus could really set us, really hurt our competition, keep them down low, and put us up another 3 points on them, which is big. But Columbus is coming in with the top assist leader and top goal scorer with 12.
So
and
Tally Hall's gonna have his work.
He's gonna have and our defense is gonna have its work cut out for him because Aurelian Collin is still wishy-washy with that injury. So I don't know if it's going to be St. Ledger back there.
Probably.
And I don't know. I think it's going to be a good game. But Kai Kamara gives us problems because he's so big. He's just a big man. And Finley just loves to put it in. He puts it in and he heads it down and puts it in.
So we got to stop the cross.
Yes,
so what is if you're coach, if you're Adrian Heath right now, what is your game plan going into this next game?
The thing is, it's hard because they're gonna counter our strategy by forcing everyone to the wings, where I think we should force everyone to the middle, and they're gonna have so many people in the middle to try and force us to the wings.
Our center backs are stronger than our left and right.
I think
you want us to come through the middle because that's.
I want them to come through the middle because then it's easy. It's more of shots coming through the middle. It's not the crosses in and the headers and the dangerous, flanks. Where I think that's where I think they want us to go. They want us to go to the flanks rather than go into the middle with Kaká and dominate the middle.
So with Kaká and Avila strategies against each other.
Yes, in my opinion,
your opinion,
I think Columbus, we need to force them to the middle, and that's why I feel our middles are going to be so clustered because they're going to try and force us to the outside, so they're going to have a lot of players in the middle. But we're going to do the opposite.
To force them in the middle, you have to have our center mids. We have Higuita to the left, and I don't remember.
Is it Avila? Neil is now up top.
Neil is now a wing or a center mid.
No, so are you talking center mids?
Center mids,
because we run the 4. It's the 4-2-3-1.
Yes, but which is usually the last game we had a 4-3-3. Or I don't know how they do the 4-3-2-1.
No, it was a 4-3-2-1 for sure. Because we like putting Kyle Larin up top just by himself or Pedro Ribeiro, which I would kind of love to see. I've been saying it. I've been saying it, but I love this. The switch off the bench could be a game changer, which it has been. So I understand why Coach Heath leaves one of them on the bench because it's a good spark.
Like when you replace it, it's almost as good of a player that's in there, comes right in and fresh legs.
Exactly. And so, Ribeiro has come in big when he's come off the bench, and so has Larin when he's come off the bench. But Larin is in more form right now, so I feel that's why he is getting the start over Ribeiro. But anyway, so we had we had Breck, Shea, and Neil up top starting with Larin up top, and then Kaká also in the middle, right under.
To his left was Higuita. To his right
was Avila, right?
Avila.
And then we have Darwin Sarin on the bottom. And, we had Neil up top and Avila on the bottom with Sarin. I'm pretty sure that's how it was.
Okay.
And then we had our regular 4. Our back 4.
So we have... Avila, which is on the right in the middle. And Higuita, which is on the left in the middle, they basically have to force those defenses inward. So they got to play the line.
You got to play the line.
They play the line. They force the offense in the middle.
Right.
And that's where the center back and Saren come in.
Exactly. And keep them contained there. Exactly. So that's what you want to do. You want to do like that, like you said, press them in. You try to force them in, and then you make it like a bottleneck. You know what I'm saying?
So if you're going to let them pass you on... depending the middle side.
The middle side. I wouldn't want them to get us on the wings. Just me personally. I feel their wings are too good, and that, like I said, the crosses in is what's gonna kill us.
So we have to avoid any wings, any crosses, any corners. Corners might be dangerous.
Yeah, set pieces are always dangerous. Set pieces are always dangerous. And
what about offensively?
Offensively, I think we need to exploit Laren up top. Throw balls in the middle, have him, use his body, but also, because I know they're gonna dominate the middle and put more of their people in the middle, so Kaká can't, look up, see who he wants to pass it to, and set plays. So I feel that's what we really need, and what we kind of usually do is we have Kaká in the middle and we play off Kaká, and then we go off to the flanks, and that's how we get the majority of our goals. So hopefully, now with this last goal of Kaká, or this last game of Kaká, where he kind of just put it on himself to shoot more and not be afraid, I would love to see that, since they're gonna give it to him more. I feel they're gonna press away when they need to, but not give him too much space to where he can look around and
where he can create,
be something. A Pirlo basically.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think our main thing is to just shoot the ball.
Okay.
We just need to get that ball in the goalie's hands, get him flustered, and see what we can do.
All right. So this next game is when? On Tuesday?
Tuesday, 6:30.
7:30 here. U.S.
Nah,
Open.
I'm saying 6:30 is the day, June 30th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm seeing 7:30 p.m. here. I don't know what you're talking about. And this game is listed as a U.S. Open Cup. So, do we get points for this game? How does that work? Do you know?
Is it really a U.S. Open Cup game?
That's what I'm seeing right here. It says U.S. Open Cup. I don't know if that means that the game doesn't count for MLS points.
No, yeah, then it's competition.
There's a competition game.
Yeah, it's not.
So it doesn't count for any points.
I don't think so.
We could probably look that up.
Look that up. Yeah, check if because I don't know. Usually cups you don't get the points for it.
It might by matches. Lamar Hunt. I don't know who that is.
Lamar Hunt.
Know who that is?
Do they say?
No, it looks like a regular.
It's a regular season match. Oh, it's a tournament. See, yeah. But they don't get their points for.
I mean,
for league
this
play.
This is a pretty long article. I don't know if I can skim it that well.
For league play, they don't get points for league play though.
I don't think so. But okay. So what does that mean for us now? Now that knowing that, are we gonna play our regular starting lineup?
Well, I hope so. I mean, you're still playing an MLS opponent. I would want our starters, but now that I know that we don't get the 3 points for it, completely changes it up because you want to keep your team fresh, obviously, for the actual games that matter. Yeah,
but
not that this one doesn't count. Yeah, not that this one doesn't matter.
Didn't we? We've already played a U.S. Open Cup, right?
Yeah, we played against was Charleston Battery? That's who we played against.
I think so. I think that was the U.S. Open Cup. Yeah, that was the U.S. Open Cup, and we didn't play our.
No, we didn't.
But that could be because it wasn't an MLS team. Would that be
right?
The reason why we wouldn't have played?
I feel like that's why we might not have. And maybe we'll have some. Maybe Coach Heath will try something new, different strategies with maybe test out a couple players since it is an Open Cup.
I kind of like this whole cup thing for soccer, where it's like you're having
see, but it causes confusion. Mid-season. It causes confusion. That's at least for me. I say that's what I don't understand. Like Copa del Rey and things like that. Like in Spain, they're not part of the league, but they're doing it mid-league play. Yeah, which is what I don't understand. It's just confusing to me because usually when we do tournaments, like March Madness, for example, is after the basketball season.
Yes.
It's a tournament after the season.
But it's a postseason. This is not a postseason. This is just a side tournament.
Right, it's just a cup.
So this is for teams, I guess, if you really want to compete in them, you can set up your starting lineup. But if not, if it's not your
that's not the way it's supposed to be handled. I know, it's supposed to be handled where you have your best team always.
But think about it. If you have Saren, right? No, Saren's not the one dealing with injury.
Who are you talking
on
about?
our back line. I'm drawing a blank on this guy.
Aurelian
Collin.
Collin.
Yes. I wouldn't play him in a cup game.
Oh, no.
Because he's dealing with an injury.
Of course, yeah.
So that's where teams can make up for that. They can be like, okay, we can have certain people rest because this game is not as important. It still has some importance, but it's not as important as like the league play games.
So you'd rather him be rested up, obviously.
I would 100% would rather him be rested
than
up.
have him play in this U.S. Cup match.
So what I'm starting to see is that a lot of weekday games are cup games.
Cup games, yeah, for sure.
While
the weekends
towards the weekend, like anything I want to say Thursday or Friday on is MLS games, but anything before that are cup games. That's what it's looking like to me in the next week at least. A lot of cup games. So, in other sports news, now we want a little change of pace. We had the NBA draft last night. That was really interesting.
Yeah.
Some moves were made.
I wish I saw it, but I was watching a play instead.
Yeah, what play were you watching?
The Importance of Being Earnest. Which, I mean, it's funny because I thought I had never seen it or heard of it. I was like, it's a very famous play, Oscar Wilde, and everyone knows about it. But I was thinking to myself, man, I know of The Importance of Being Earnest, but I thought to myself, I hadn't seen it or read about it or anything. But as soon as he said, oh, you're being a bunburist, that's when it clicked to me. It's like, oh man, I read this when I was a senior in high school, and I'm glad I did because but I never got to see the performance of it. And the play was great. It was at the UCF Theater, and I loved it. And I'm gonna see another play today called "Do Black Patent Leather Shoes Really Reflect Up?"
Well, you can let me know how that.
I'll let you know how it is. It's a musical. And I'm not too fond of musicals. So let's see. Maybe this one's different. Yeah. Maybe this one's different. But to answer your question, The Importance of Being Earnest was really good, and it was funny. It was clever. It's a very clever play. So I thought it was good.
That's cool.
But yes, because of that, I didn't get to see the NBA draft.
The NBA draft. We had some big things happen. Some people, depending on what team you're affiliated with, aren't as happy as for the results of last night. But I wanted to go over at least the top 10
Yeah,
picks.
go over the top 10 picks.
Because I feel like those are at least some more important ones, depending on, who your
team is
aligned with or who you don't want to see get good picks. So I guess let's start at the top with the first pick. Minnesota Timberwolves selected Karl Anthony Towns.
Which, was there really a surprise there? It was a toss-up between him and Jaleel, right?
As the first team, the first pick never really comes with surprises, I feel like ESPN just covers the crap out of it, and you can really see where they're missing. Towns is good. I think he'll add a lot to that team. Unfortunately, they're in a very competitive West.
Yeah.
So,
but you can't say that the Timberwolves didn't at least attempt to try and make a
of
splash,
course.
because they did.
That was the best possible player they could have
and they got
chosen.
Tyus Jones, right? Correct.
Yes, they did get Tyus Jones in the
from the trade with
Cleveland.
Yeah, they gave up 2 picks for Tyus Jones.
And Tyus Jones is originally from Minnesota, so they have that.
So jersey sales.
Well, I think the jersey sales for Towns are just gonna go up. I'm pulling up now the starting lineup
for the.
Yeah,
or is this the potential? Potential starting 5.
Like, I would say my potential starting 5.
Ricky.
I would have
Andrew.
Let's see. I'm looking at it now. Rubio at the 1. Tyus Jones is not going to start. I think he'll come in after Rubio. Maybe towards the end of the season. Depends how he proves himself. But I don't know. I don't see Ricky Rubio coming out of that 1.
Can he play the 2 guard?
Tyus Jones?
Yeah, or is he too small right now?
I think he might be a little undersized, but you never know. I think it's more possible Rubio going into the
2 guard.
If you want to put somebody there, I think. But I'm putting Zach LaVine at the 2 guard.
Okay.
Having Wiggins at the 3, putting Towns at the 4, and leaving Pekovic
at 5. Yeah, you need to leave Pekovic down. You need him down there.
And you have another number 1 pick, Anthony Bennett, coming off the bench. So Shabazz Muhammad is a good forward. I think he comes in for Wiggins. Kevin Martin's on this team. We got KG still on this team too.
KG still on it, yeah.
So does he come off the bench?
For sure.
I mean,
you get as many minutes as you can from him.
Yeah. He's not a starter anymore, is he?
No.
All right, so
I wouldn't start him.
I think that was a good pickup.
This team could, with cohesion, maybe in 2 or 3 years could be better. They could.
They'll definitely be a playoff contention. I want to say in 2 years.
2 years.
Next year. I feel
depending if Wiggins turns into
who we
think he's gonna be.
Become, then that could be a change of pace there. They could fight for an 8 spot, but the way the West looked this year, space is kind of tight. So
and teams are only getting better.
Yeah. Speaking of teams getting better, I think LA Lakers had a great pickup with D'Angelo Russell. He's a point guard, shooting guard from Ohio State.
They say he has the best chance of becoming a star, and that he
does have one of the best. He's got one of the best markets to become a star, and you have an aging star, so there's a huge gap to be filled. And he could possibly fill this gap. He could be the replacement 2 guard.
The question there was: do you start with the big foundation of getting Jahlil Okafor, someone big, or do you go the guard route? And they were speculating that if they go the guard route, that they're going to do something in free agency in the big man department.
So that's vice versa.
Right?
They would go.
So now my question to you is: since K-Love has opted out. Mm-hmm. Do you think maybe that's a move that they attempt to bring Caleb back home to LA?
Well, yeah, definitely. LA's going to try to make moves on Kevin Love because they know he has, if not some interest, he has a little bit of interest of going back because that's back home, right?
Yeah, he went to UCLA. Yeah.
I don't see why not. Why wouldn't you? I feel like there was
you have to go for him. And they're going to offer him.
Weren't they talking also to DeMarcus Cousins too, or was that the whole George Karl thing?
That was
George got fired over.
Yeah, they're thinking about already firing him because
he's been hired for 4 months, and he's already going to be fired.
I don't know how to say his name. It's like Randevee or something like that.
The owner,
of the Kings, saying he does not want to depart with DeMarcus Cousins, and rightly so. I mean, guy's a baller. He's an all-star. He's a double machine. I wouldn't want to get rid of him either if I was a Kings fan or the owner. But I understand what they're trying to get trades out of him because he's you know.
Also they also have Carlos Boozer on unrestricted. I feel, but
I think it's time you just let Carlos Boozer go.
Yeah,
just time to get rid of that guy. Like just move on.
So
he hasn't been Carlos.
My question
Boozer
is, does D'Angelo Russell start?
Who do you have above him? Jordan Clarkson, Jeremy Lin.
So you have. Let's say he starts. I would put him to start, depending on how he does.
You got to see his.
I got to see his
workouts and everything.
Let's say he stays consistent. Mm-hmm. I think I'd start him in at the 1.
Well, I think what kind of is hindering him is now with all this hype. I feel he has to start because they're kind of seeing him as this new face of LA.
So they got to put him in there.
So I feel you have to, and some players are just good at learning in the fire, and who knows, maybe he will be one of those players.
Okay, so I guess my starting lineup for the Lakers probably would be Russell at the 1, Kobe Bryant at the 2, Nick Young at the 3.
Nick Young at the 3?
Yeah. Julius Randle at the 4.
Okay.
And Jordan Hill at the 5. I think that's who I'd start with. But, I mean, they also have Wesley Johnson, too. They could play some.
I'd start him at the 3.
You start him over Nick Young?
Yeah, I put him at the 3, put Nick Young at the 2.
Nick Young at the 2? What about Kobe? You don't start Kobe?
Or
you have to start Kobe.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta start Kobe.
Unless he's injured, you have to start Kobe. I'm sorry.
But what if it fits the team better, him coming off the bench? Do you think he doesn't let that happen?
It's the Los Angeles Kobe's. Like... You're paying
but it's
Kobe
not,
the money.
Though. It's the Los Angeles Lakers. You got to.
This is the last year of his contract, isn't it? That big contract that he's gotten.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't he say he was retiring this season?
I don't know. I feel he said he is, but who knows? Who really knows with players like that? To be honest.
Well, let's move on then to the Sixers. Picking up Jahlil Okafor,
dude.
But in my opinion, why?
Yeah,
exactly. I'm not knocking them because my team ended up. Things happen for a reason.
We'll get to that later.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, but
Jahlil Okafor to the Sixers when they already have Embiid and Nerlens Noel, could he be on the trading block?
Who are you talking?
Okafor, Embiid, or
Nerlens?
Noel, any of those guys can be. I don't think all three stay. I think two of them out of the three stay. Possibly Okafor and Nerlens Noel staying.
I was gonna say that because you get the offense from Jaleel, and you get the defense from Nerlens, and then Joel Embiid is already having problems with his knees and his feet and everything. So I think you kind of just
I mean, I feel
let him play out this year though. You got to see what he does this year.
Can't. But they're they have some business plan going.
I feel they've had this business plan going for 5 years now.
And I think it will continue until the cows come home or
until
whatever.
they actually make the playoffs and
until
do
they
something.
make playoffs again?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? And with this young team, that was so interesting about the draft, is to see what this team was going to do, because they have all this young talent.
Question: how old is Jason Richardson?
Like dust? That's how old he is?
Because he's still on the roster for the Sixers.
For the Sixers?
Yeah.
So, what's your starting five for the Sixers? They got another center?
Yeah, they got a few picks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got Guillermo
Hernan Gomez, right?
Hernan Gomez.
Hernan
Gomez. That's an
Gomez.
interesting last name.
He's
It's
from
like,
Spain.
Yeah. But they also got Arturas Gudaitis. I think he was one of the first Indian players to be selected in the draft, if I'm not mistaken. That seems like an Indian name. I knew there was one. I don't know if it's him.
Watch him be from Chicago.
He's Lithuanian.
Lithuanian.
Yeah. But there was, I think one of the last picks in the draft was an Indian man. I think it was the first ever Indian.
Good for him.
Someone of Indian descent to be picked in the NBA draft. I know we had our first player this last season.
Hey, basketball trying to get more worldwide.
Yeah.
I mean, they're already worldwide.
So this is a tough team because I don't know this team as well as the other teams. But I would start Tony Roten at the 1. Let's see. Kanan at the 2. Would you start with Kanan at the 2?
Probably not. No.
I mean, he did play decent at Houston.
See, but this is where I feel that this is where the whole trade is so crucial.
Mm-hmm.
Where if they trade out Joel Embiid or someone, or Jaleel, or the Nerlens Noel, that's where they can get their.
How about Luke Richard Mbahamute?
Mbahamute? I actually like Mbahamute. He's not that bad. He's pretty good.
Is the M's not silent?
It's Mbahamute.
Mbahamute.
Yeah, it's like Mbahamute.
Luke Richard. I mean, you got Nerlens in that starting lineup. I would put him at the 4 if I start Jaleel at the 5. Or actually, would you put Jaleel at the 4 spot?
At the 4?
And Nerlens Noel your defense at the 5. I think that makes a little bit more sense. But can Nerlens spread the floor? Do you know?
No. He's not.
Because I don't think Jaleel can spread the floor either.
I think Jaleel spreads the floor more than Nerlens for sure.
Yeah, but not a perimeter spread.
No, I mean he has a better shot. He has a shot. Like he could shoot. Jaleel could shoot.
But it's gonna be. They're gonna have a crammed. It's definitely gonna be hard to come in on them.
Dude,
that's for sure.
Well, they have three twins. They have towers. They have towers. That's what they have. Their what is it? Their backcourt is not good.
Yeah, their backcourt's not good.
Their backcourt is the iffy part.
Their backcourt needs help. No, I wouldn't say it's not good. It just needs help. That's what they're lacking.
And that's where you can get rid of one of those players, like I'm saying, and just make that backcourt way better.
All right, so now for probably my favorite pick of the night, the Knicks coming in fourth with Kristaps Porzingis.
Dude,
in my opinion, not a bad pickup. If you're a Knicks fan, you probably did not like the pickup.
The thing is, Knicks fans and fans like that, they're all about the flash and the sex appeal
now.
Of the player. You know what I'm saying?
They want it now. That's why. They don't want someone to be worked on.
Porzingis doesn't exude sex appeal.
No. Especially not for, like, if you want something from, like, he's from another country. Mm-hmm. If you want, people aren't going to jump on his bandwagon immediately once he comes off here. Like, Karl Anthony Towns is looking for, because he's
you know Willie Cauley-Stein or something.
Now, I'm not saying he's gonna be a bad player either, but that's not what these Knicks fans were hoping for.
Dude, they say the guy's got a shot like no other.
Yeah, but
he could shoot. He can
the
flat
thing
out
is that
shoot.
we haven't seen
that he just needs to develop. No, he just needs to develop.
We haven't seen him play. He's been overseas. We haven't seen that many highlights. We don't know about him. That's why these fans were probably more upset about him. I think,
and he's
the biggest
he needs to develop for
the,
sure.
the person who was the most upset was Stephen A. Smith. I was only updating his Twitter feed just to see his reaction on this pick, and I was not disappointed because he wanted to turn the draft off right then and there when he was picked up. He was comparing him to an Andrea Bargnani. He's like, we don't need somebody like that. We need somebody who can just come in and bring some attention away from Carmelo Anthony.
And well, he was saying that he kind of felt bad for Melo because he feels as though he was.
Well, Melo's upset about this.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
I also heard he called Tim Hardaway Jr.
Mm-hmm.
He called him to vent about this pick, and then I feel like later in the night, Tim Hardaway Jr. was traded.
No.
Yeah, they traded Tim Hardaway Jr.
They did?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Hawks.
I did not know that.
He called him to vent, and they traded him like almost right after.
Why would they do that? I feel like that was the Knicks' future right there.
And they got Jerry and Grant.
Jerry Grant. Oh, okay, though. That he's a baller, though. He could be a baller. He had those clutch situations.
Wait, does that bring?
Now they don't have a shooting guard. True.
Does that bring Melo's, like, I guess, happiness down because they took away one of his best friends? For sure, you're gonna take away one of his friends, and no, but the thing is Tim Hardaway Jr.'s already been proven, and he was only gonna get better. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. Tim Hardaway Jr. was on a Knicks team that's crappy. You think he was about to? Like, I think Tim Hardaway.
Wow, Tim Hardaway Jr. on the Hawks right now. That's a great pickup by the Hawks.
Yeah,
what a pickup! Oh my goodness.
So what's the mastermind doing over there in New York?
That's the $1 million question. Who knows?
What's his nickname?
Who?
Phil Jackson. He has a nickname.
I don't know. But Phil Jackson's doing some sketchy shit over there. I don't know what he's doing. But he says he has a plan. And I would believe in Phil Jackson.
Zen Master is his nickname. Yeah,
Zen Master.
Well, we'll see what the Zen Master has planned for New York. Hopefully everybody's on board for that.
It could be like the whole Aaron Rodgers thing, where he was telling all the Green Bay Packer fans, relax in the beginning of the season.
Oh, you didn't see did you see any replays of the draft?
I didn't see any of the draft.
The moment the Knicks had their pick, immediately fans were devastated. They were booing. They were booing the pick. This little kid was crying.
I feel bad for him. It's not his fault. It's the greatest day of his life, and the team that picked him up, the fans aren't happy. It's like I said, the greatest day of his life, like his happiest moment, but it has to be tainted because of all these fans that are just so upset. I mean, he probably didn't give a shit, and he still partied after and was having a great time after.
At number 5, Orlando Magic.
The Magic
get their pick, and they pick up Mario Hezonja.
The Barca man. The man.
The one who told him that he's not going to see Messi play, that Messi needs to come see him play.
Yeah. Gotta like the confidence.
Right?
Gotta like the confidence. So,
I think that great pickup for the Magic. They could be a potential 8-spot contender next season. They got a young little team going. Everybody just needs to, I think the fans need to start going to the games more. That's what I think, and I think
they were struggling with injury with Gordon, and now that Vucevic is going to be there, and now they have Elfrid Payton a year developed. Now hopefully he won't have as many turnovers.
But the one thing that this team needs is backing. That's for this one team. This team needs a fan base that just fires them up.
I think they have.
They're young. They have talent. They just need filled stadium.
And now,
as many games as possible,
because their base is there, man. They got Oladipo.
They need the.
You just think they need the little hurrah, the little push.
That's what they need.
That's what they're missing.
So. And I think they could be a good tender for possibly the.
Because I love Vucevic, dude. I love that guy.
I like Elfrid Payton.
Elfrid Payton too.
Dude, who else?
Oladipo, obviously.
Yeah, Oladipo, Tobias Harris. Well, you don't like Tobias Harris.
Yeah, I don't like Tobias Harris.
Yeah,
he might ride. Yeah, I know.
Channing Frye from Fournier.
Pistons are making moves too, man. Pistons they're trying to make they're working right now because they got the next pick, right? No, they're 8.
No,
they're
Sacramento has the next pick, and they picked up Willie Cauley-Stein.
So, see, my question on that is that good for DeMarcus Cousins or is that bad for him?
It's hard to say.
Does that mean that this whole we're not going to get rid of DeMarcus Cousins is kind of a hey, well, now that we got Willie Cauley-Stein, let's see what we could do now with DeMarcus Cousins and maybe just build more on our team.
But is Willie Cauley-Stein
And then him at 5. That's true.
But,
oh my
but
goodness.
is Willie Cauley-Stein that guy you're gonna center your franchise around?
Dude, I see Willie Cauley-Stein. You don't. I was gonna say you see him like a Birdman, or you see him like a Tyson Chandler. That you compare him to a Tyson Chandler. He's not gonna give you those double machine, like the 20s and 20s. He's gonna give you that defense, the rebound, and that hustle, that heart. That's what you're gonna get out of him. And then you got DeMarcus Cousins with Willie Cauley-Stein. If you play them both at the same time, now he's gonna have less attention down low with Rudy Gay.
Yeah, but to me, I see
that's money. That's a money team right there.
Riding.
You see him riding?
Yeah. I mean, how do you go about this season knowing that your coach had wanted to trade you from the get-go?
Why does that matter? I feel like a lot of teams have players that their coach wants to trade them. It's nothing personal.
But
it's just business.
Some players take it personally. You never know if he takes it personally.
You're right. And
especially when
I
he
can't
wants
look
to
into
trade
people's minds, but I feel that's immature on his part.
George Karl's trying to trade DeMarcus Cousins for 2 of his former players on the Nuggets. He's trying to get Ty Lawson and Fareed.
Can you blame him? He's comfortable with them.
I know he's comfortable with them, but how do you feel if you're DeMarcus Cousins, knowing that you're basically on the block if word just reaches to the right people and they decide to change their minds, you're that first person on the trading block because you're more valuable.
I would feel kind of if I was DeMarcus Cousins, I'd be like, damn, I'm kind of
happy being shopped.
I'm kind of being. I'd be happy kind of being shopped around because that means that I have value, and that means that maybe I'd have a chance to. Because I don't want to be mean, but I don't think the Kings are going to win anytime soon.
So if you're being shopped around like that and you know you're a good player, would you have this sense of like, they're valuing me at better than this team could afford? Or I'm just so good that this team needs to divide my talent in half
exactly.
for other players?
I think that's what you could say. I'm so good that I'm too good. I'm not as valuable here as I would be somewhere else where maybe they have more of a core than where they need a core right now in Sacramento. You get what I'm saying? So that's why they're trying to trade him away, because even though he's a vital piece and he is part of the core, of course, he's too good for the core right now that they have. Yeah. And they're not. And they're trying to. And if I was DeMarcus Cousins, I'd be like, well, crap, I can get out of Sacramento and win finally in my career
and make it to the playoffs and have
exactly
a run
and do
possibly
something
to the Lakers.
See, no? I don't know. I don't see.
Where would you see him going?
San Antonio.
I don't like those words.
San Antonio or Dallas, because I know they're trying to make moves. So if Dallas doesn't get LaMarcus Aldridge, they're getting someone. They're either getting Marc Gasol. Which, oh my goodness, I wouldn't want that.
I don't think Marc Gasol leaves Memphis.
I think he leaves Memphis.
I don't think so.
I think he does.
It's to be determined, but I don't see he. And they did really well last year. They played against.
Dude, they just need a shooter. You need someone who can actually shoot.
So I feel like Marc Gasol hasn't had problems with the team. I feel like the team will come up with the money to pay him what he wants to be paid. That would be the only reason why he leaves money. Because I feel like the team, he's friends with everybody. He likes the city. Well, it's money.
They were up 2-1 on the champs.
They were.
And like I said, if they had a Conley that was healthy,
or someone
that could just
replace Tony Allen when he was basically ineffective in that series,
exactly,
that's all they would need. So moving on to the 7th pick, it was the Denver Nuggets, and they picked up Moutier. Which
2K thinks he's going to be a stud.
Oh, yeah. 2K has him rated. I think he reaches 99 on 2K.
99
so hopefully 2K, if 2K has it right, then he's being classified as a scoring stud. Mm-hmm. So I'd want to be classified as a scoring stud.
How tall is he?
He's 6'5".
6'5"?
200 pounds.
PG? He's a PG at 6'5"?
He was born... somewhere in Africa. I want to say the DR Congo. I don't know. It's something Republic of Congo.
Democratic Republic.
Okay. Of Congo. I'm not even going to try to repeat that. He moved to Texas. He went to 2 different high schools. They were playing his story on the draft. He went to SMU and he was going to play for SMU. But I think right before the season started, or like before he got into school, he got an offer from China to play for a year for 1.2 mil.
Oh my goodness.
So he went to China and he was like, I'm going to take the money now. 102 million you're going to pay me right now. I'm going to play in China and develop in an actual league.
1.2 million, yeah.
That's what he did.
He
ends up getting taken 7th in the NBA draft.
You got to. I would do it. You got to. I don't know, man. You got to think about. This is where the whole question comes in. Do you worry about your future now or later? You know, get an education and then your money.
That's the risk he took by not getting an
exactly.
education.
He didn't get the education, but he's got the 1.2, and look, it worked out for him because now he's drafted. But there's so many cases where it doesn't work out for you.
Maybe school's not for him.
Maybe school is not for him, and
Maybe
he picked a route.
Because school's not necessarily for everybody.
But imagine he's in China. He tears his ACL. He can never play basketball again.
Yeah, that.
What does he do then?
Mm-hmm, that's.
I mean, he's got the 1.2 million, but that won't last you your whole life.
That's true. They have him listed as Emmanuel on the Nuggets roster. Yeah. Somebody needs to update that. This is tricky to make the starting lineup because you don't know about the future of Fareed or Ty Lawson. But they definitely have.
My question there is, what do you do with Ty Lawson since you got Moutier? Or Moutier. How do you say it's Moutier?
Moutier.
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 Or Moutier.
Moutier.
Oh, he is?
Ty Lawson
he said it? Oh, he
that?
confirmed that? Okay, I didn't know that.
But the Nuggets never said anything.
They didn't say anything about it? I don't know about that then. I didn't know.
Oh, yeah. Ty Lawson. This is the headline. Ty Lawson after Nuggets draft Emmanuel Moutier. I'm going to Sacramento.
Ooh.
And I think it was a personal video.
It was a video like on Twitter or something.
Yeah. Like he filmed it himself. And it's just like, yeah, look at it. He's just like talking to himself.
Oh, hitting the hookah?
Hitting the hookah. And he's like, I'm going to Sacramento.
I'm leaving. I'm riding out. I saw that. I'm out now. I'm out. With the hookah and everything.
So, he's unrestricted, right? Or is he restricted? Ty Lawson. He's still restricted.
He's still there. No, yeah, he still has his contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's gonna shop himself around, or he's gonna tell the organization.
Well, I guess
he's
asking for a trade. Yeah. Because, like I said, what do you do with him now? Because he's too small to play the 2.
And he's too good to be on the bench.
And he's too good to be on the bench for sure. You can't.
Okay,
leave him
so
on
he's
the bench.
going. So he's going to Sacramento, but what's Sacramento gonna give him if they don't want to give up DeMarcus Cousins?
Yeah,
you see, it's gonna be tough.
That's,
I don't even
that's
know
where
if
the trade comes in.
He might not even end up in Sacramento. He may just be saying Sacramento as like.
Could this be a joke? Maybe
place city. No, I don't think so.
Like he's taking a shot at the rookie. Like, yeah, I guess you're gonna take my spot now, but I'll get it at Sacramento. We'll see what's good.
Nah, I don't think it's a joke. You joke around with your friends. Like if we're all sitting here,
you're right.
I'm going here, but you don't put that on Twitter. If you're just kidding, it tarnishes your. I feel like that has an image on your career. Will Barton they have there? Gallinari. Okay, they could do something there. They can make a little run. The West, of course, is just extremely strong. At 8, the Detroit Pistons came in with a surprise pick.
Wait, who was 7?
7, we just spoke the Nuggets.
Nuggets was with. Oh, I thought 7. Did we skip someone?
No, we haven't.
We haven't skipped anyone. Okay,
we're at 8 right now. Detroit Pistons with a surprise pickup because everybody expected them to choose either Justice Winslow or just not Stanley Johnson, which is what they ended up going with. And I'm sure Heat fans everywhere were like, wait a minute, that was projected our pick. What's going on here?
But see, Mike, and I'm happy that they got Stanley Johnson, but there's a reason they got him ahead of Justice.
Well, I did read up on that because I wanted to find out why, because that interests me too. They went with Stanley Johnson because he fit in more with the Van Gundy
style.
He fit in more. He wasn't. He looked more like a project player that Van Gundy wanted to develop or wants to develop. He fits in well with that.
So it was just
system.
a camp decision.
It was a camp decision. He fit well with that team.
See, like I was just worried it was Justice had a temperament problem.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about too. I was like, because I saw him falling, but we'll get to that in just a second.
Dude, but like I was saying, the Pistons, they already have their core right now is solid. Just with Andre Drummond and Greg Monroe.
Monroe's a free agent.
But I think he comes back.
And you got Brandon Jennings.
You don't think he comes back? I think Greg Monroe comes back.
Kentavious Caldwell-Pope.
Caldwell-Pope, yeah. and Brandon Jennings,
Tayshaun Prince,
and Reggie Jackson, which is
Jody Meeks. I like
yeah.
Jody Meeks. Stanley Johnson.
So that's what I'm saying. If Stanley Johnson there within the two towers of Greg Monroe and Andre Drummond, that's rebounding.
Yeah,
that's rebounding.
He just fits in with their team.
And then you got
that's what Stan Van Gundy wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they chose him.
So I see the Pistons maybe making a lot more moves this next season.
Mm-hmm.
They could possibly be like a 6 seed, 7 seed.
I would say they're contending for 7,
contending for playoffs.
Contending for playoffs. Yeah, we'll leave it.
We'll leave it at that.
So then Charlotte Hornet at 9.
Can you say that one more time?
Charlotte Hornets.
Charlotte Hornets.
Okay. Is that better for you?
Yes, that was better.
Came in at 9. They picked up Frank Kaminsky,
goodness.
Frank the Tank from Wisconsin.
What a mistake.
Why? Why is that
I just don't like Frank Kaminsky. I think he's going to be a bust. I really do. I don't think he's that good. I think he was good at Wisconsin because he had a team in Wisconsin. And I just don't...
So you're saying that's your bust in the top 10?
Yes.
Frank the Tank?
Yes.
Why?
Like I said, I just don't think he fits the NBA style. He's too thin. I mean, this is the same knocks that KD had. But KD was a scorer. Like, KD was an undoubted scorer. I don't know if Frank Kaminsky has the same scoring, is inclined to scoring as KD. Yeah, he has a shot. Yeah, he has a post game. I know. I know he did, but I feel he's like a Christian Laettner. Which Christian Laettner was arguably one of the greatest college basketball players of all time. But in the NBA, he was solid. So I don't see Frank Kaminsky being all this hype that a number 9 pick. I would have gotten Justice instead of him 100%.
Well, there's a reason why. I don't think they're lacking in centers. That's why. All they have is
Alfred Jefferson. I know.
And you need. They have Cody Zeller, who's. I think what happens is Kaminsky comes in at the 4. Mm-hmm. Have Jefferson at the 5.
No, you put Jefferson at the 4 and put Kaminsky at the 5. And that opens up Al Jefferson's game because then he could be more on like the elbow and things like that instead of being only down low because that's all he was doing because he was there rebounding.
So then really he actually fits in pretty well with their system then if you wanted to play the 5 and move Jefferson to the 4.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he fits into the system. I just feel you could have gotten no better center than him.
And you have Batum.
Yeah.
Walker
Walker and Gilchrist. Yeah,
Gilchrist. Yeah, Kemba.
Yeah, I love Kemba. I love Kemba.
They might be a little lacking on the bench, but they got a good starting lineup.
I feel Charlotte's one of those teams that's been a work in progress for their whole expansion. Like they've just been Yeah, exactly.
That's what he's just opening up for.
That's crazy, man. That's so crazy. How do you let Michael Jordan beat you and he's not even active right now? He doesn't even have his hoop earring in anymore. Like.
And for our final pick, the number 10 pick, the Miami Heat, and they picked up Justice Winslow, which fell onto our laps by the grace of God. I don't know how he went through all 10 picks and not getting.
That's the Michael Beasley karma.
That's the Michael Beasley karma.
That's what I'm attributing that up to.
I mean, honestly, I think we had the steal of the draft.
I think so too.
We have the best grade draft. We came up. We won. We won the draft.
Well, the shooting guard, our second round pick was
Josh
Richardson.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee. Yeah, he's not bad. He's
not at all.
Yeah.
I think honestly,
good second round pickup. 3-point shooter. We need someone to spread the floor, which is good. So
and if all we need is D Wade to stay healthy, and we're a scary team.
We already offered Goran that 5-year, $80 million.
Well, we've already told him that's what we're planning. We can't do anything until July. 1st.
Okay.
That's what we're planning. We're telling him, hey, this is what we're planning on giving you. So keep that in mind. Dwayne Wade's the only question mark. As much as I don't really think it's that much of a question mark, I think he does stay.
He stays no matter what.
I think he stays no matter what. Well, not no matter what. Obviously, if
no, I know, but I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like 95%.
He wants to get more money. No one's gonna give him more money than we are. Mm-hmm. I don't think any team is gonna risk paying him top dollar to play 50 to 60 games a season with no history.
Well, if he's looking for a max contract or close
I
to
think
close
he's just
to
trying to get more than what
the
he's
most
getting
the
now.
most money he can get is definitely from the Heat. I don't think another team is gonna pay him all that amount of money for him to play like you said 50 to 60 games. Because he's had
without a history.
He's
on
had
the team.
4 seasons already, or 5 seasons straight, where
Mhm.
it's been under 70 games in a season. So I wouldn't pay him all that money if I was another team.
Mhm.
I'm obviously a Heat fan, and I'm part
But
of
that's
the Heat
why
organization.
That's why we're like, you know what?
We're paying
He
him for
deserves it.
past play.
It's Kobe money.
Yeah, it's
Kobe
Kobe
money.
It's
That's
Kobe
what that's what I call that, Kobe money. You're paying these players for past performances and what they've done for the organization, which I don't see anything wrong with it.
Mm-mm.
Yes, it kind of hurts, it detriments the team for the future, but I mean, he has taken pay cuts for the team, so it is earned. But
the thing is he
the
took
Heat are
pay-
just like, here, just wait one more year. Let us get that big bonus.
He took pay cuts to get bigger players to win.
Mm-hmm. If I'm D Wade's camp, this is what I'm going for. Especially after this Justice Winslow pickup,
Mhm.
I'm telling him, look, we're gonna opt in this year. This is what you want, right? We'll opt in this year. For the next year, 2016, forget about free agency. We're gonna develop our team here. Give me the money that I'm asking for, and that 20. What they're gonna make 20 mil extra because of
yeah.
that TV deal.
Mm.
Forget about Kevin Durant. That's what I'm saying if I'm D Wade's camp. Don't worry about Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's not coming to Miami. I don't see him coming to Miami. He's gonna if he leaves the Thunder, if that's a big if, because he could still not leave the Thunder.
I don't see him. If he leaves,
If
he's
he
going
does,
home.
he's going home. He's going to
Yeah,
Washington.
he's got to go to Washington.
I honestly wouldn't even. I mean, obviously, I would want him, but I feel like we just picked up Justice Winslow at the spot where Kevin Durant would take over. Do we really want to develop him for a year and then the next year just sit him out and have KD take the space?
Well, then you put KD at the 4, and then you
Take out Chris Bosh?
yeah, and then
What,
put
Chris Bosh
Bosh
at
at
the 5 again?
Put Chris Bosh at 5 again with KD at the 4. And you got Justice. I don't know how Justice is gonna play, but you could
then
you
what
could
about
you could do
Whiteside?
that. Well, then Whiteside comes in
Or,
off the
give,
bench,
or we give up
we get rid.
Whiteside.
Yeah, we get rid of
for
Whiteside.
KD. But if I'm D Wade, I'm like I'll opt in this year, to and then you will sign me the contract that I want next year, for when we get that money. That's what I'm saying if I'm D Wade.
And we're shopping around Birdman and,
Yeah.
and Chalmers, so
But I think that's
because
to,
Chalmers is just.
I think that's to open up cap.
That's what I'm saying. Chalmers is
Just-
just eating our cap right now, and
Chalmers, we need to get rid of Chalmers, and Birdman enjoyed when he played. He was an asset to us when we won our championships, but I don't see him on the court as often anymore.
But you don't see him as like a nice backup center for Hassan.
I feel like he's a nice energy backup for.
But isn't that
Hassan.
all you need? That's like why we had Joel Anthony.
Yeah.
Joel Anthony was basically that guy. We called him the warden because he would come in and he would just put everybody in check.
But remember, you have Mick Roberts coming back next year,
True,
so.
but that's more for Chris Bosh. That's
But
more
if you
for
have him at the 5, or I guess if we get, hypothetically saying we have KD, he would replace KD at the 4, Josh McRoberts, and have McRoberts and Chris Bosh playing on the
No,
court
I
at the
feel
same
if
time.
we had KD, then McRoberts is not going to be there.
If we have KD,
Yeah,
not even coming off the bench.
just my opinion.
Okay, that's a conversation for another time, though.
Yeah,
But that's my opinion. Justice Winslow, he's been compared, has the body of LeBron with the game like James Harden. I don't know about you, but those are great comparisons.
great
to have.
comparisons.
He grew up watching the Rockets because
Mm-hmm.
he lived in Texas for a while. So I'm really excited for what he could do. He's a guard forward, so he could be an oversized like a two guard. Like if D Wade wants to sit, if Lil Dang, he can have a little. He
Little
can be that guy.
rotation, yeah.
He can be that versatile.
He's so versatile, which is good. Yes, that's what we needed because we need depth, man. That's
My only hope is that he becomes what everybody's projecting him to
yeah.
be. That's what every team hopes
Of
for
course,
the draft
yeah.
picks. But he's one of the guys with the top, like one of the highest, like
Percentages.
overside, like the upside,
Mm-hmm.
where they could be an all-star. He has, I think I don't know what analytics they throw in there, but I think his percentage was like a 41% chance of being an all-star. Like that's a pretty.
Do
good
you think
percentage.
this is the biggest excitement out of a draftee since D-Wade for the Miami Heat?
for the Miami Heat?
Yeah.
Definitely.
You don't think people were excited about Michael Beasley?
I guess you could say we were excited for Michael Beasley because I remember kind of like how
I was
that
pretty excited for Michael Beasley. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, damn, we didn't get D Rose, but
Yeah,
at least
I
we
mean,
got
yeah,
Michael
we
Beasley.
were excited.
We're chilling.
But this, I guess, at hindsight's 2020 with what we know, this might be our most excited since D Wade.
Yeah.
Knowing what we know, even more than Michael Beasley.
What do you mean?
Because I think
not Shabazz?
not Shabazz.
Come on, LeBron told
Not
us to get
Shabazz.
Shabazz.
Well-
That was super hype.
You know why I think it was more excited than the Michael Beasley thing?
Why?
Because Michael Beasley, we picked up him as the second pick, right?
Mhm.
We wanted D Rose, I feel.
Of course.
So that's why it was
Everybody wanted D Rose.
because I feel like that was and then it almost got taken from us. D Rose got taken from us, and that's why I feel like we weren't. You're like, oh, I mean, okay, we'll take Michael Beasley, and like look at what he's done now. I mean, look what Derrick Rose has done now too. But you never know what happens with these draft picks.
That's always the biggest issue in any draft.
The next thing's July 1st, free agency.
Free agency.
We got to see what happens in the NBA.
The
We gotta see all
monster
moves that
of
happen.
free agency, man. That's
Well, for us at least, for the Miami Heat fans, it's monster. For other teams too.
well, no free agency. is just a
Sacramento's one of those teams that
crazy
got to see what
monster.
happens.
Yeah.
I don't know. Knicks maybe they got to do something there. I think they feel like they need one more piece set in place. Maybe the Lakers, and like Kevin Love. That's who we're gonna be watching.
You Cavs, yeah.
Yeah, but the Cavs for free agency not so much. Just Kevin Love specifically. What happens with him? I feel you take Kevin Love out of there, they're still a playoff contending team no matter what. Look what they did in the playoffs without him.
They really didn't use
They
him.
didn't.
Yeah.
Tristan Thompson, solid. Guy's
and
solid.
I feel I don't know who was saying it. Someone was saying it that Tristan Thompson is more of LeBron's boy, and he's trying to actually get him that max deal because he knows K Love can get that max deal somewhere else. But he's like, I want Tristan Thompson here, and I want him to get paid.
That's the problem.
So
LeBron wants
that's what
Tristan
LeBron
Thompson.
wants. He wants Tristan
Listen,
Thompson.
we'll take Kevin Love off their hands. If they like players like Dellavedova, we'll give them Tyler Johnson. Give Tyler Johnson. We'll take Kevin Love off their hands. Tyler Johnson can play patty cake with Dellavedova on the bench if they want to.
Napier, yeah.
Napier, yeah. Since you wanted Napier that badly, you think it was that
Give him
good of a-
Napier, yeah. I just don't see any of that.
So yeah, that was a top 10 picks of the draft. Pretty good draft class, if I'm not mistaken.
I wish I was here just to see you guys after that the Heat
The Heat
pickup.
pickup, we were
at
pretty
Justice.
excited.
You guys were probably
We were
going
pretty
crazy.
excited. We were jumping, yeah.
You guys were probably so nervous. Like what?
Wait,
what
right after I
you
think
did,
it
you
was,
called the Frank Kaminsky?
I was like, what's
Yeah,
going on?
I feel like it was around the Sacramento Kings when they started getting their pick. We were like, wait a minute, Justice Winslow's still on the board, and we're 4 picks back. What could happen here? And I'm looking. The big one was the Pistons. The
Yes, the Pistons
not going
was-
with,
That because that's where.
and also the Nuggets too.
Yeah.
The Pistons and the Nuggets not going with Winslow kind of was like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
See, but then my question to you guys is: if Justice Winslow and Stanley Johnson were already taken, what do you do?
Devin Booker.
Devin Booker?
Yeah, that was my next choice. Devin Booker and have a backup for D Wade.
D Wade, yeah.
Whether he stays or not, we have a backup for D Wade.
True.
That was my second choice for them. So, yeah, it's pretty excited. It was probably one of the more interesting NBA drafts that I've seen in recent years.
I feel it's one of the most. It's been a really hyped NBA draft compared to other ones. Because usually you hear hype about the NFL draft, and they make a spectacle out of it. Because MLB draft, nothing.
I feel like the NBA drafts for starting lineups.
Oh,
That's
by
why.
the way, the NHL draft was on yesterday too.
Oh no, it's tonight. I think it's tonight.
No, wasn't it yesterday?
Yeah, saying it's tonight.
It's
Tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, it's tonight? Okay.
I'll double check with that, but I'm pretty sure I saw it earlier on ESPN.
See, it shows you how much I know about
Yeah.
hockey.
Yeah, you were educating yourself culturally in,
And the
in
play.
the play.
Yeah. I thought it was yesterday, but no, I guess I was wrong. Dude, but Friday the women's play against China.
Tonight?
Yeah,
Yeah.
against China.
We haven't lost to China, if that's any consolation.
See, but I'm worried because we don't have Rapinoe playing. We don't have
Holiday.
or Holiday, yeah. So those are 2 playmakers on US Two playmakers that you need them. Yeah,
it's tonight in Sunrise, by the way.
Okay,
Going back to
the NHL draft is tonight.
It's actually in the Panthers Stadium, the Florida Panthers.
Hey,
And the guy who's projected as the number 1 pick is being compared to Wayne Gretzky.
whoa,
So,
whoa!
heads up. Alert.
He's getting picked by the same team,
Edmonton
Yeah.
Oilers. That's crazy.
Alert.
What a coincidence.
So, yeah.
Is it a coincidence?
Illuminati?
As I raise my eyebrow and give
LeBron James of that.
of the
Or
NHL.
the next Wayne Gretzky of the NHL?
You can say.
I don't think LeBron James will be that good on skates. Do you think?
I mean, the guy can do anything.
He's an athlete.
I
He
wouldn't
could
be surprised.
Yeah.
No, and imagine he gains what, like 3 inches on the
Yeah.
ice because of the.
Oh my God.
He'd be crazy
Hopping
big.
over
Yeah, he's just hopping over everybody.
Imagine him just trucking one of those players. I mean, I'm sure those guys can take the hit, but
Dude, there's
Boom.
no, but those guys are big. No, but I feel like everybody would try and fight LeBron.
He'd flop
But LeBron,
he'd flop every time,
would be
though.
like the politician, like, no, I don't want to fight you.
he like miss, and then he'll like look at the ref, and he'll be
Or
like,
he
"What's
just like
going
skate
on?"
to the penalty box already.
Yeah.
I'll take my 5 minutes, whatever.
He'll go up to the line like if he's gonna shoot because he automatically thinks he's gonna get a foul, and he realizes they're not really.
They're
that many
not really
fouls.
then, yeah.
or any at all. I don't know. I haven't really watched that much hockey. I don't know if there's any. There's no fouls, right? You just get thrown.
You get
to
the penalty.
You get timeout.
Their
That's all you
fouls
get.
are penalties.
Yeah, go timeout.
Yeah, you get put in the penalty box,
And
which
that's
is
where, oh my god! Imagine
that's kind of
those-
like a dunce hat. Like you get the
No,
dunce hat.
it's exactly
basically.
what it is.
Yeah.
You have to sit and watch your team be at a disadvantage.
At disadvantage, yeah. It's like look what
And
you
those
did.
hockey fans are relentless in the box.
In the box,
They're up on that glass and they're just like doing anything. I've seen many things go on. I've seen these 2 girls that they had a sign for, I think it was one of the players on their team that was like, "Hey, do you remember us? We like sucked you off in high school."
Oh my goodness!
They had a sign right there at the glass.
What?
Yeah, you can look it up.
They're like that. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
Man! NHL. What
That's
a
crazy.
slept on sport. What a slept on sport. Hockey. I want to get more into hockey for sure.
Yeah, I definitely want to.
That's
One of
I've
the
been
things
trying.
recently
I've been trying to.
That's with the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted to watch. I wanted to dip my toes in.
Mhm.
I dipped my toes in soccer. I want to say about like a year and a half ago. And now I'm ready to learn something. I dipped my toes in cricket a few months ago.
Yeah, you did.
I was watching the Cricket World Cup. That was pretty interesting. You know, I learned from these Caribbean bartenders.
Who won that, by the way?
New Zealand.
New
Or
Zealand?
Australia. They were both in the finals. I forget which one of them, but they both.
I think it was New Zealand. I think you're right.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
But yeah, so the women's team plays tonight. Yeah, and against China, who we've never lost to them, but they're looking really nicely in this World Cup. What am I looking at? What are you showing? Oh, you're showing me
no.
the sign.
It was those signs, but it's a different one.
It's a different one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, these hockey fans are nuts.
No, yeah, hockey fans are nuts. They really go crazy. I feel it's all the ice because you're cold, so you just got to get emotional, and because that's how you get the heat to your body. So that's what hockey fans do.
They just like getting the tackle happen right in front of them on the glass. And,
The
like,
glass.
putting it back.
Whoa, yeah.
They're just getting destroyed.
What kind of
on
glass
the
is that? Is that
Plexiglass.
plexiglass?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Has to be.
Yeah.
There's no way. Imagine if it was like bulletproof glass and it had no like
No.
lift to it. You're smashing faces into the glass. Yeah, I mean I can't find the sign, but I saw it. I think I saw it on Reddit. But it was hilarious. I was laughing.
Yeah,
I was
of
like,
course.
And that guy probably saw it. He was like, "Of course I remember you 2 girls. There's 2 girls holding it up."
Just-
Yeah,
yeah.
obviously I remember
Of
that.
course, I
time.
remember that. Yeah. Well, speaking of 2 girls, same-sex marriage is legal now.
Oh yeah, that happened today.
Yeah. 5-4 ruling in the Supreme Court.
Yeah,
That's
but so explain that to me. It's a federal ruling.
correct. So, like we were talking about it, how it's still up to the states with their police power to determine if it's legal in their state. But now, if someone with their state it's legal, they can move into another state and still get their benefits of federal things. So it's not they get completely shunned away. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because like now a benefactor can be a partner, where before it couldn't because the family could have came
Yeah.
in because they're
Okay.
not technically married.
It's a win. It's a win for everybody.
Oh, I think it's
for
a
anybody.
huge. This is a huge step forward just in our mindset of, I'm talking about the United States, obviously.
And for all of you out there who are hating on Twitter and like, oh, you know what, fuck this country, I'm going to Canada. Just letting you know, Canada's had same-sex marriage for about 10 years now.
Yeah.
So trust me, you do not want to go anywhere else in this world, but here we have the best country
I think
in
it's
the world.
just so ignorant to...
It is an ignorant way of thinking.
Exactly, an ignorant way of thinking, because what is... If two people are
if it doesn't affect you, you
Yeah.
shouldn't... Like, that's it. It doesn't affect you. Like, you'd be like, okay with it. Why don't you want somebody else
like,
to be
that's
happy?
fine. You could be heterosexual. That
Like,
person's
I'm gonna-
homosexual.
yeah, I'm
like,
gonna be who I'm gonna be.
What's the difference? There's no difference. One person just likes the same sex as the other compared to the other person.
Yeah.
Which, why is that such a big deal? Why I don't know. I feel like it's counter human.
But I feel like that's a generation of people that are fading away. Because I feel like our generation or the younger generation that's coming up this way is not going to be as close-minded. Once our generation comes into like
I have a
power
question
positions,
for you. Because I was really curious. Do you feel that all of those regulations and things like that were because of religion, and now a lot more people aren't akin to following a religion? Or do you think that there's still a heavy set of people? Because I feel there are a lot more atheists now than there were 30 years ago.
yes, because there's a lot more science.
A lot more
people are
a lot more
listening to the
open-minded
science,
people.
A lot more open-minded.
Where a lot of these people who are scientists are actually showing with proof and
Like,
facts.
this is how these things work and evolution and all that fun stuff. But yeah, to answer your question, I feel because we're moving
So you
into
think
newer
there
times,
are less religious folk than there are non-religious folk?
not necessarily religious folk, because like less religious. I just feel like the people who are religious, there's more of them that are more open-minded. Because back then, religious would just be like
religion and science are different.
Yeah,
they're two different categories. Now we're seeing a mesh of it.
There's a big selection of religious people that are accepting, yes, this is what I believe, but this is how it also is, and they're using them because they don't contradict each other. If you really think about it, religion and science do not contradict each other. They actually complement each other. They can be like, this is why, or one's how and this is why. You know what I mean? Like, they don't.
The thing is some of the religions want the why and the how, all in that one.
And those are the close. But I feel like the younger generation will be changing that as time goes by. Just like with the whole like smoking cigarettes type of thing. I don't know if you see, they play it all the time on the TV where teen smoking has gone down in Florida specifically from 21 to 9%. I feel like that's not the cool thing to do anymore, so everybody's just gonna stop. Like, there's not gonna be a stoppage in it, but it's definitely gonna go down because there's a new way of thinking going on. There's a lot more science to back up the fact that, hey, these are actually damaging your bodies.
Yeah, because we have science to show you.
And it's not the thing where you go to the back of the school now and just like...
Well, I mean, and also Hollywood did a great job of not, sexualizing it and making it sexy to smoke.
It's not sexy anymore.
No, and like that's what my grandparents would say. You would see all these Humphrey Bogarts and all these huge
cool
actors.
camo.
Yeah.
He had the leather jacket.
Like the Clint
Ray-Bans.
Eastwoods. Smoking cigarettes and just keep it going. And cigarettes were allowed on airplanes.
Like the badasses in movies aren't smoking cigarettes anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a big step, like I said, like smoking was allowed on airplanes. That's how acceptable it was. Where in a confined space for so many in school, people would smoke in school all the time, in confined places. And now it's people get upset. They're just like, oh my god, he's smoking in here. Like I'm getting nauseous. Like get him out of here. So I do like that analogy or that.
Actually, in Hollywood, I feel like the character who has like a flaw is the one smoking.
Yeah.
The one who, like, you could tell like they're the damaged character. They're the ones like smoking the cigarette or not the main character anymore. It's always either the hard ass like commander or like somebody who's just like, not the focus of the story. It's someone who's the help or someone who's the damsel in distress in the movie that has all these flaws.
So I do applaud the United States in making this good step forward. I think this is a good step for everybody, for not just the LGBT community, but for everybody. I really feel people are gonna be more open-minded, and it's not gonna be It's not going to be as strange to see two people walking and down the street of the same sex holding hands just because they want to show their PDA, just like a normal heterosexual person would. And I think, like I said, it's a great step forward. Just like when we made it to the moon, it was a huge step forward for not just the United States, but all of humanity.
Or just any major event like women's rights back in the day. How back then, like, everybody's like, I'm leaving. They probably would do the same thing, just not on Twitter. They didn't have Twitter.
Yeah, they didn't have Twitter to rant about
this country.
it.
Women can vote. Look at now. We have women candidates for president.
Now, hopefully, we can just get drugs to be all legal. I just want all the drugs to be legal.
All the drugs to be legal?
Honestly, yeah. And then...
Why? Because
it cuts down crime. It cuts down crime. And the people that are going to do drugs are going to do drugs no matter what, if it's legal or illegal. So why not regulate it? Why not regulate it?
Take away the novelty of it being illegal, too?
What do you mean?
Like, the fact that people do it so much is because it's legal.
Oh, trying to be like, like, I'm so cool.
It takes away from the novelty when you can, like, get
I'm
at
such a
McDonald's,
badass. Like, yeah.
It's like, I got a double cheeseburger the other day. It's like,
Do you think, like, if you...
Go ahead. Go ahead. We're listening. This is
like,
Stefan, by the way. You guys are our football expert. Yeah.
He's the little voice that you've
heard. Wait,
what is he saying?
Go ahead.
You say, what if, like, if all the drugs become legal, but wouldn't you think, like, more people could probably overdose more?
That's definitely...
Well, I mean... Overdosing is a problem always. It's always going to be a problem. But, like, at least with...
more people can overdose because they
have access to it.
But see, if it's legal, we can regulate it. We can make it so that
make it government.
You could be like, okay, you want heroin, whatever. If he's a heroin addict, we'll give you one dose or this amount of dosage for the whole month. Make it last.
They're still gonna find illegal ways to get it.
Okay, but then that's where it's the illegal portion, and that's their fault, and they're gonna do that no matter what. That's what I'm getting at. But why are you gonna punish everybody else? You know, when you don't have to punish everybody else, or I don't want to say punish. Punish isn't the right word, but why are you going to hinder everybody else because someone else is always pushing the envelope? There's always that one person that pushes the envelope.
The only thing I have with that is that...
And this is our closing argument, real quick.
The only thing I have with that is because we live in the United States, we live in a capitalist society, basically. So the government probably won't take it. It'll be private institutions that make the money out of it, corporations that are going to take advantage of that, and they are going to be the ones that are government regulated, not us.
What blows my mind is we're the ones who've made most of these drugs. They're man-made. So how can you make something that's man-made legal? A lot of the drugs are legal. Ibuprofen, Advil, all this shit is legal. But herbs and good
when you say drugs like that, I'm thinking like hardcore, like cocaine.
I know,
like buying it by the key, but from your local state representative.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, if all drugs were legal, I feel it's a lot easier to regulate. You kill so many of the cartels and things like that who are making all of their money because of the drug trade, because it's illegal, and because they stipulate the prices. It's not the government that does it; it's them. And it's funny because I'm not one that's usually for government regulation. You know, I like to think of myself as a, middle level-headed person. But I feel government regulation in this topic is needed, and it would benefit more than it would hinder, because we don't know what the outcomes are going to be because it hasn't happened yet. But I feel, why haven't we tried it out if what we have right now isn't working? Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I'll take that.
That's all I'm saying. I think, and that's why I think it's good that we took these positive steps, and that we need to continue as humans just to take positive steps. And you know what's a great positive step, citizens? If you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click it. It's right there. Follow us on Twitter at SoundCityPC. Shoot us emails at soundcitypodcast@gmail.com. We're going to get back to you guys next week again with another recap of the week, hopefully Orlando City comes out with a win, and so does the USA. Hopefully they can pull out that. I believe that we will win. Yeah, hopefully. I believe it. Hopefully we can pull out that win without two of our main girls, and of course one of my bays, Megan Rapinoe.
Alex Morgan.
No, I love Megan Rapinoe.
That's mine.
Oh, Alex Morgan's yours. Okay. I mean, I feel like that's the whole country's bae, but I love Megan Rapinoe, and I just love her style of play. So she's definitely going to be missed. And Holiday too. Her name's Lindsay Holiday, right? It's Lindsay. Pretty sure it's Lindsay.
I don't. I'll double check because I don't know.
But anyway, so we're gonna be missing our two playmakers. So hopefully the USA pulls it through, and Copa America too. Just closing off now that I'm running off names. What? It's not Lindsay.
Lindsay.
What is it? Sherry Holiday? I don't know. I'm just pulling out names right now. Whatever.
Is it Drew Holiday's wife?
Yeah, it's Drew Holiday's wife.
Lauren Holiday.
Lauren Holiday. Okay.
Drew with a JR.
JR, yeah.
JRUE.
It's Drew. Drew Holiday. But thank you guys again for listening. If the little voice that you guys heard was Stefan, he's part of the crew now too. So, and Brandon, of course, on the mic. Thank you, Brandon.
Heyo.
Thank you. And with that, guys, goodbye, citizens.
Bring us back.